the mawdu' of the topic of the Quran. The next is the mawdu'. The topic of the Quran is kalam Allah. That's what it's about. The topic of the Quran is dealing with kalam Allah. And then its thamra, its benefit is ma'rifatu kalamillah ibqan lil waqi'. You know, it's to understand the knowledge of, and as a way of drawing near to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you understand, that's the benefit that is derived from the science itself. The benefit is to know, when I read the Quran, Yasin, wal Quran al-Hakim, I know what Quran al-Hakim means. And the benefit of that is that I understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to me. Now, if I know, when we get into the masail, I'll do that when I get there. But and then the next is وَفَضْرُهُ. The fadl of the Quran, وَفَضْرُهُ nisbatun wal-wadi'. The fadl is the virtue of the science itself. There's different sciences have different virtues. For instance, grammar is a beautiful science. It's one of the most important sciences because without it you can't understand classical languages. English is not a grammatical language. It has a grammar. It has a grammar, but it's not a grammatical language in that you do not need to know its grammar to understand it. It's very easy to learn Arabic, to learn English and communicate in English, and you're going to have miscommunications, but you can understand it without knowing because it's not an inflected language. So if I say akada Musa kusa in Arabic, I have to understand Musa as a person and Kusa as a food, because the inflection of that sentence, it could be the zucchini ate Moses. That could be the meaning. If Kusa is marfu' and Musa is mansub. But I don't know that because the harakat don't show up. That's the way English is. So there's room for ambiguity in English in terms, but English follows a syntax. English doesn't let you say the cucumber ate Musa and it means Musa ate the cucumber. In Arabic you can say the cucumber ate Musa, but you can mean Musa ate the cucumber. Do you see the difference? Because the syntax in Arabic, the structure of the language is very flexible. You can put the verb at the end. You can put the verb at the beginning. You can put the verb in the middle. In English, you put it in the beginning or the middle. In German, you put it at the end. There's a Jewish theory that's why they were able to do what they were doing, because they don't think about the action until the end of their sentence. So language there's a lot of problems that happen in communication. Now, if you look at knowing i'rab, you have to know grammar. Arabs, modern Arabs, they can read a newspaper, but if you forced most modern Arabs to read it with the ashkal, they'd be all over the place. In fact, the Arabs say, alhanu min qari. He's making more mistakes than somebody reciting from a book. Meaning that it's very easy to make mistakes in Arabic. I mean, even ulama who really know Arabic very well make grammatical mistakes sometimes. Really, it just happens. And it's rare. One of the few people I ever saw that I never heard him make a mistake grammatically was Shaykh Mustafa al-Makki. He was an Egyptian Azhari that I used to go listen to him do commentary on the hadith, and it was just, people used to go just to hear him talk. There were people there that really weren't even interested in the lecture. I think they were just like, it's amazing, just the way he talks. Allah yarhamuhu. Shaykh Abdullah bin Bayya is like that also. So there are Shaykh Sa'id Ramadan al-Bulti. I mean, these people are like maraja in Arabic. If you listen to them, and they've spent, but still, you get into these books and you will find that misunderstand things. Many times Arabs know that when you read a sentence, sometimes you have to go back to the beginning because you worked out that, oh, what you thought was actually the subject was the object. So you get back and you have to go back and read it again. So it's a grammatical language in that it doesn't allow you to understand it without having either intuitive knowledge of grammar, which is how the pre-Islamic Arabs had it and the early Arab Muslims, or to later on to learn it. And that's the way we have to do it now. You have to learn grammar to be able to read it properly. And so that the fadl of Arabic is that grammar has fadl. My point was grammar has a great virtue, but it's low in the Islamic sciences. It's the one you have to start with. Like one of the little phrases I learned early on was أهمها عقائد ثم فروع تصوف وآدة بها الشروع. You know, this is like tartib of knowledge. The most important knowledge, أهمها عقائد, is to learn your aqidah. And then furu', to learn like the practical things to do in your religion, tasawwufun, to work on purifying your heart, and then adatun biha shuru', and then a tool that you have to begin with, which is Arabic grammar. So even though it's the least of the sciences, all of them are based on it. Al-Arabiyyatu miftah al-ulum. Al-Arabiyyatu miftah al-ulum. It is the key to knowledge in our religion. If you don't know Arabic, you do not have access to knowledge in the same way that somebody. There's secondary sources, and you meet people that are very learned about Islam. So you can't say that somebody can't understand Islam without understanding Arabic. I don't believe that. But to get into the sciences of Islam, you have to learn Arabic. And certainly these primary sources, because they'll be until the end of time in Arabic. The Quran cannot be translated. It can't. And in reality, no real great literature can be translated. It just doesn't work. Anybody who knows two languages and has read a piece of great literature in both languages, they know the original is always better. If they really know it. Because you can't. And language is too